Hey guys, it's Nova, and welcome back to this war of mine. Before we kick things off, I do want to mention that I had a little bit of an issue with this game. I actually tried to record an episode earlier in the week. Right now it's Saturday, and got about 2 episodes worth of footage done and commentary done. And when I went in to edit it basically got borked. So all of that progress that I made got ruined. And the thing with this game is it automatically saves after the end of each day. So if you recall right, in the previous episode we were at like day 5 or day 6, so I had gotten a little bit further timeline wise, but because the game saved, there was no way for me to go back and like redo everything again. So I ended up having to start the game over, and I was kind of hoping that I was going to get the same locations on the map again and the same kind of stuff, but again, because the game is kind of randomized, I didn't have such luck. But there is some good news by me having to restart. On Thursday, I think it was, there was an announcement made that there was an anniversary update to the game, which is kind of cool. I wasn't actually expecting that. And the update brought along with it 3 new locations and 3 new characters. So maybe this is a blessing in disguise. Maybe we're going to actually see some of this new content in this Let's Play. So here's crossing our fingers to see if that actually happens. And let's just get started. Alright, so as you guys can see, we're back at day 2, because again, I didn't want to go too far into the game. You're going to see during the nighttime portion that the map totally randomized the locations. So we got some new locations on the map, so to speak, for you guys to see. I think when I got to the end of day 1 and it gave us the option to either scavenge for supplies or stay at the base, it showed me like the garage and an abandoned apartment flat, and I know that wasn't seen in the previous first 2 episodes, so I opted to not do any scavenging just so that you guys can see it for the first time. And yeah, so that's basically it. Thankfully though, nothing happened the previous night, so I don't know, I might end up just skipping to the end of the day, since I was able to, as you can see, I was able to search the whole house. But I guess I can show you what supplies we do have on hand, and then maybe strategize what we need to build now. So not too much different than the first go. Like we got bandages again, we got medicine, got a little bit of food, not a lot of food, so that's gonna have to be a priority. Do have a crowbar and 2 lockpicks again, 2 shovels, some other miscellaneous stuff. Water is always good to have on hand, and wood. And we did find some jewelry in the house and a lot of books, so that's good in the sense that I won't have to worry about bringing any back to the base. And we do have some extra books that we could use to Gizmo, please, not now. We do have some extra books, so in the off chance that we have to trade, or worst case scenario, we have to burn some of the books for fuel, we have them. And then jewelry is always good to have on hand, as you saw in an earlier episode. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead. Actually, maybe I'll just wait until, maybe mid-afternoon, just to make sure that nothing, because again, with the update that came early, well, not earlier this week, a few days ago, I don't know if that's going to change anything else in the game. Like, I don't know if other characters are going to show up every so often now, or if it's going to still be pretty much the same. That's the other thing, too, that I noticed with the update it mentioned. In addition to the new characters and the new locations, they also said that there was a new ending, which really has me intrigued, because I don't know if that means that there's another option. Like, I know I mentioned before that depending on how you play, your character can have a good ending, so to speak, or a bad ending. So I don't know if they mean that there's a new ending in that sense, or if there's a whole nother like type of ending. Like basically the game ends when there's the ceasefire, it's called. But yeah, I don't know what that means necessarily, so I am interested to see how that plays out too, and how easy it is to get this new ending or how hard it is. So this will make for some more interesting runs in the future to come, because I am planning on playing each story. So yeah, and I'll see you guys in a few seconds. I'm gonna let the clock tick on and see if anything new pops up in the meantime. Otherwise, if not, we're just gonna go to the end of the day. Okay, you guys, it's about 2 o'clock in game, and I haven't noticed anything new happen, so I'm going to go ahead and hit end day. And I might have mentioned it in a previous episode before, but the reason why I always opt to do that is because I've noticed in past playthroughs that most of the time when a NPC comes to the house to either give you a quest, so to speak, or the trader comes, they usually tend to come in the morning time up until like the early afternoon. So usually if I don't see anybody by like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, that usually means that nobody is coming for the day. And that's usually a good way for me to gauge whether or not I should go ahead and end the day if I have nothing left to do at the base. Okay, so basically here, after, as you guys can see, the map has definitely changed a lot, and I'm going to stick to the same plan as before. Have Pavel, who's the fastest one in the group, scavenge. I'm going to have Katja rest for the night, and I'm going to have Bruno guard. Although, now that I'm looking at it, maybe I'll have both of them guard, because you never know. But I'm going to go ahead and read off these descriptions to these new locations, or at least new to you guys. This block of flats has seen some heavy fighting. Most people have fled the area before the Vicerni? I guess that's how you pronounce it. I'm not really sure, and it's hard to see because I have it windowed. The rebels clashed there with the military. The war is over now, and there shouldn't be many things left to scavenge because people were leaving in a rush. Oh, there should be many things to scavenge. Yeah, because it says lots of food, huge amount of materials, some meds, lots of weapons, and lots of parts. So, I've seen this house come up sometimes in other playthroughs, like the first time you play. And to me, it's very similar to the abandoned cottage in that it's pretty safe to go there and get a lot of stuff without any hassle. So we might go there first. However, there's also this decrepit squad. It's been inhabited by the homeless since long before the war. They've always been struggling with the lack of food and might not have survived the recent shortages. They shouldn't be a threat, and we could find some useful things there. So, huge amount of materials, lots of weapons, lots of parts, but no food or anything else of value. But there is a scenario that pops up here that I think we're going to try and go for if we choose to go there. But in any event, let me read off the garage. Before the war, you could have had your car repaired there. It was a decent family business run by an impulsive son and his elderly father. If they still live there, they might be willing to trade with us. Alternatively, we might find lots of useful parts there and maybe even some food. So, some food, huge amount of material, some meds, lots of parts, possible trade, but caution advised. So this is a good location. I'm kind of actually glad that we got this one the second time around. We can get a ton of stuff to build up our base, like components and wood and I think weapon parts and regular parts and maybe even electrical parts, just from looking through the debris. And then the fact that there's a father and son pair that's holed up here, we can also trade with them. And I think if I recall right, you can trade with them like if you have medicine and bandages, you can give them that and you could get a ton of stuff to, craft things with. So, I'm not going to actually go there yet, believe it or not, because you only have one thing of medicine and one thing of bandages, and I don't want to give them my last one. So I'm actually going to go to the decrepit squad. And, yeah. Now, I think we might need a crowbar. I'm not entirely sure. But I am going to actually take a thing of food, and you'll see why I opted to do that in a second. But let's go on in. It was a ruin before the war. Now half of the city looks like this. Yeah. So, I think there's only like one person that's here, but he's harmless. And he's the reason why I actually took a thing of food. So, let's see. I think he's over here. It won't open? Oh, okay. Up and over, I guess. Okay, drop down. Perfect. Okay. I'm very hungry. Can you help me? So, here's the thing. This is one of the homeless guys that was mentioned in the synopsis there. Now, we're not going to get anything in return trade-wise here. But he does say that if he doesn't eat something, I don't know how long I can hold on. So, I'm going to actually be nice, and I'm going to go ahead and give him this food. I'm so grateful. I have something you might find interesting. I'll show you. Come with me. So, maybe we are going to get something useful. So now what I'm going to do is... Oh, he's going to take the long way. I'm going to go ahead and open up some of these doorways for future runs. I already know where he's going to go, but I'm going to go ahead and unlock some of this other stuff in the meantime, because he walks kind of slow. And let's see what's in here. Nothing too important. I'll definitely take that wood and water, though. And I think what I'm also going to do is, oh wait, look through this pile in the meantime. I think I'm going to do what I've done before is, oh wow. Can I, oh wow. Okay. Let me grab this. And then I'll save some room for whatever he has down here in the basement for me. Okay, thank you again. So, because we weren't standing next to him just now... Oh no, here he is. He's gonna mention it now. Oh, he left already. Okay, he was gonna... If I was standing right next to him when he came down in the basement, he was gonna mention that he saw something interesting in the corner. And if you hadn't helped him, this little icon here wouldn't have even have come up. So, it works to our advantage to, you know, again, it works to your advantage to help people in need if you can. So, we got a bottle of pure alcohol, always handy, and some jewelry. So, we're going to take both. And, yeah. So, I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start moving everything I can to the beginning to make life easier for me later. So, I'll see you guys in a few seconds. Alright, so as you guys can see, I cleaned out the basement and pretty much the entire first floor, with the exception of obviously where I'm placing all the materials at. I haven't checked the second, and I think there's a third floor here, but we got a pretty good haul here. And as usual, I'm definitely going to take my equipment, or in this case the crowbar, with me, and the jewelry and the alcohol, that's a given. And I'm gonna try and split it 3 ways. I'm gonna try and take as many components, parts, and wood as possible. So I'm gonna take 12 of these, 6 of these are all that's here, 6 wood, 8 wood. Alright, and now we're gonna head on out. So, yeah, this is a pretty good location to get a lot of materials, thankfully. And, because I think it's day 3, am I right? It crashed. Lovely. So yeah, of course, Fraps crashed on me just as day 3 was starting to transition, but on the plus side, because it's day 3, we should be getting the trader. Yeah, and Palvo is very pleased at the fact, for crying out loud. We got raided. Okay, please tell me that we didn't lose anything or get anybody hurt. Okay, great. We were able to chase them off, nothing got stolen, and nobody got wounded. Thank God. Alright, this is good. And what does he have to say? Oh, I shared some food with a hungry man. Despite having so little, we need to remain human. Yeah, that's very true. Very true. And that's a good thing for him and for everybody else, because that means that their morale has gotten a boost. With the exception of Bruno. Bruno is very, what's the word? Jaded, I guess you could say. Very, I don't know if I could really say selfish. I think I said this in a previous episode, but he doesn't really care that much. Okay, so what do I wanna... Right, last time when I played, I had really had this place fixed up. I think I had like 3 beds, had the radio, I think I had managed to upgrade both workshops. You know, we had a stove, I think, as well. We were doing pretty good, so hopefully I can, get back up to snuff and then some. So let me see if I can actually upgrade anything. Probably not. No, still need more components and wood. Can I craft anything else? No. And technically we don't need anything else here, so... Alright. Can I upgrade this, though? No. Alright, what can I build? I feel like okay, I can make a radio. Can make a stove, but is there enough for both? 12. 7 out of 12, so that'll leave me with 5. That'll leave me with 3. Oh, okay, so it's gonna have to be one or the other. Okay, I'm gonna actually opt to do the radio, because we're already low on food, as it is. So it doesn't make sense for me to... I don't want to say waste it on the stove, but it doesn't make sense for me to make it for, the kitchen yet. Because we only got like 1 thing of food, so it's not like we're gonna be able to cook anything right now. And I'm gonna move Katja near the doorway because I'm pretty sure the trader's gonna come soon. And let me see. I guess I'll have Bruno rest because there's not really much else for us to... Oh wow, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Thank you, Franco. I could kiss you right now. Okay, so let's see. What does he have? Alright, so as usual, he usually has a boatload of stuff. So, components first. Alright. And let's see, what will he trade with me? Okay, he's saying that's very generous of me, so let me see if I can try and balance this out. Only other thing that I really have of value is my meds, and I don't want to give that up. Alright, let me see. What can I ask him for? Because it doesn't make sense for me to... I want the wood from him, but I need something that's more valuable, if you get what I mean. Maybe the meds? Dang. I mean, bandages? Nope. Okay, so he said no to both the bandages and the, medicine. Oh, you gotta be such a stickler with me right now. Maybe these? Ooh, okay, hold on. And, nope. Okay, now let me see if I can ask for... Okay. And let me just make sure. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely keeping the bandages and the meds, because with my luck, somebody will get very sick or wounded, and then I won't have anything to help them with. Alright, yeah. Thank you. Be safe. Alright. Thankfully... Now let's see what I can get done. Oh, okay. She's just commenting on the homeless guy. Alright, no big deal. Dang, we still can't upgrade this. Even though okay, it wouldn't have mattered because he didn't have enough components, and would have been nice to have gotten all the wood that he had, but I only had so much to trade with. However... Okay, yeah, no, not gonna do that. Can I upgrade this, though? Yes, I can. Okay, this wasn't a total loss. Great. Alright, so she's gonna work on that, and... Oh, you know what? I can have you listen to the radio. Let's just get an update. The rebel leader instructed us to warn their listeners not to cross the front line. Failure to comply could result in death. Okay, anything else? The upcoming day should still be nice and warm. Perfect for a stroll in the park. Okay, good. Okay. Despite desperate counterattacks by the rebels trying to lift the siege of Pergarin, the city remains cut off. Government forces do not allow any aid to reach the city, claiming it will end up in rebel hands. Okay, so I think that's all we have. Yeah. So that's all we have in light of news. So the weather is still pretty warm. And as usual, things have gone to shit in the city. But apart from that, I think we're going to be okay. Okay, so I think she upgraded it. Let me see. Yeah, she did. Okay, great. So now we can build the small animal traps. We can build an armchair, which again is kind of a luxury item. Would like to build one or two of them, but that's not going to be a priority right now. Once we have enough wood, we could start boarding up the holes in the house. We can now make an herbal garden. I think we had the option to make no, we didn't. So we can make an herbal workshop too once we get the chance. Do want to start making some rainwater collectors. So I think that's about it. I'm gonna go ahead and end the day because there's nothing else for us to do. And our priority right now is to get some food because we're pretty low on food. And I don't want them to go for too long. So, let me see. He got to rest, so I'm going to have him guard. I'm going to have her sleep, and he's going to scavenge. So I need to try and find a location that has food. I know for a fact that the Decrepit Squat doesn't have any food. The ruined block of flats might have some. The garage, the only way we would get food from the garage is if we steal it, which again, that's something I don't want to do. Let's check out the 2 new locations on the map though. Let's see if the descriptions change, because like I said, sometimes there's different scenarios, so even though we might have seen a location before, it could be a positive place to go to, or it could be a dangerous place to go to. Those who aim at each other during the day often trade at night. Okay, yes, so the military outpost description hasn't changed at all. It's just in a different location on the map, and you can still get a lot of food and meds, huge amount of weapon and parts, by means of trade, but it's a dangerous location to go to for obvious reasons, so not really going to opt to go there. And then we have the sniper junction again, which again, the description hasn't changed, so we already know what scenario we're going to get there if we go there. And there's a lot of food, a lot of materials, lots of meds, lots of parts, danger. Now, we already seen the sniper junction before. I'm gonna actually opt to go to the ruined block of flats, and then if I don't have a good turnout when it comes to food, I'm gonna go to the sniper junction. I think even to access the food at the sniper junction, I'm gonna need a special tool, so I'm going to opt to go to the ruined block of flats first. So let's head on there, and I'm going to take the crowbar because I'm pretty sure we're gonna need that. I don't think we're gonna be able to take anything else with us, so let's go on. Okay, it's so empty and quiet here, it gives me the creeps. Okay, so again, this is an abandoned location. You're not going to run into anybody here. So, okay, just components and stuff. I'm trying to remember where the food is at. I think it's only on the ground level. So far, no luck. What is this? Oh boy, the baby carriage isn't empty. A few objects is... Good God. What is with my reading today? The baby carriage isn't empty. A few objects lie scattered inside. A rattle, a smiling red crab, well worn by baby teeth, a feeding bottle half full of a congealed mass that was probably baby formula. Someone must have left in a terrible rush, or maybe didn't need them anymore. That's dark. Wow. If you think about it, that could be a scenario that could have happened if we didn't help the father at the sniper junction. They could have found the kid dead. You know, like if somebody was scavenging for stuff, they could have found that kid dead. Or worse. I mean, I don't even want to imagine how desperate people get when they're hungry in a situation like this. Alright, so we found a little bit of food. I don't know what their definition is of a lot. That doesn't seem like a lot. I only got, oh, spoke too soon. Here's some food. Water. Okay, not bad. Alright. Now, I might, during the second run through of this area, I'll move the stuff to the beginning. Right now, I'm just trying to see if I can find all the food and meds that I can get to. Like, that's going to be my priority right now, and then I'll concentrate on the components and wood. Now, as you can see, both at this door and at this door, there's like a bar symbol. Ooh, good thing I looked here. Oh, I'm sorry, that took me off guard. This must be a broken toy. This toy has seen better days. It is broken now. Not certainly... Oh, but it's certainly brought a lot of joy to its previous owner. This definitely must be associated with the Little Ones DLC, because if I recall right, if you have any kids in your band of survivors, they're going to need toys to keep them preoccupied. So even though we don't have any, I'm wondering if this is going to be a pretty good trade item, so I'm going to take it. And take the rest of this components and wood, and then maybe head on out. Now, see here, if I click on this, there's a grate, but I can cut through it with my saw blade. So this is another reason why I want to try and get that metal workshop upgraded as soon as possible. I'll not only be able to get like a hatchet, which is very useful for chopping up wood, but I can also get I can make a saw blade to cut through these doors, which usually means if you have to use a saw blade to get to an area, that usually means that there's some pretty good loot in there. So 2 rooms that I can't access, that's pretty promising. But I think that's everything that I can carry, right? Yeah, it looks like it. Alright, so we got some food, so not a total loss. Let me just make sure. I think I checked this pile already, but didn't check it again. Yeah. Alright, let's head on back. Good, good, good. Alrighty. Here's your meds. I hope they're worth it. Oh, who's sick? Oh, Contra was the one that wasn't feeling well, but she's feeling better now, so that's good. He's very tired though, so I should actually make him rest. And yeah, look, he's just walking. He's not even running, so he must be exhausted. I'm gonna see if I can upgrade this now. And darn it, still more. Okay, one more component and a little bit more wood. Oh well. I'm gonna make another bed though, because it does seem like we're. Oh crap, this is not good. Okay. Oh shit. I thought we had enough to at least make another bed or something. Can I make anything else? I can make a stove, I can make a heater, I can make either. Okay, that's good to know, Beholder, thank you. We could make the herbal garden, not the, yeah, the herbal garden. I mean the herbal workshop. This is the garden here. Water thing. As crazy as it sounds, I'm gonna opt to not actually craft anything because we're so close to having enough to upgrade the what you call it, workshop, and I don't want to make the mistake of making something and then maybe later on not have enough later, if that makes sense. Like if I go to another location at night, might run the risk of not finding enough, and then what? I'm gonna have Concha give Palvo some meds though. And I'll have him rest. So, God, this is so hard to read when it's in window size. And you can't adjust the window size either. I know when you guys watch it, you're not gonna see any... Ooh, someone's at the door. Who are you? Darn it. Alright. I hope you're not a problem. Chances are you're gonna just simply need help. You're not... Don't turn your back on me, please. Who are you? Ooh. You're the first person who opened the door. Thank you so much. Quickly, my brother was shot by a sniper. Please help me carry him home, or he'll die. There's no time to lose. Okay, Blago, I'll help you. So, we're gonna lose Katja for the rest of the day. So we just have Bruno, who's only a little bit tired. I'm trying to think, if I actually... I know I said I didn't want to craft anything, but they are getting pretty hungry. And if I make a stove, providing we have enough materials, we could make a couple things of food which will help their hunger. And we do have enough. Alright, go ahead. Because I don't want to accidentally kill anybody via starvation. It's very hard for me to see some of the font at this resolution. And if they die by starvation and I could have helped them, I'll be very upset later. So, you go ahead and do that. Palvo is going to rest, and it mentions that he's recovering. So, what does this say? When life gets tough, people should stick together. I'm glad we can help our wounded neighbor. And I'm sure he's going to have an issue to complain about. We helped that wounded man. So if we're in trouble one day, maybe... Oh. I'm surprised he was actually okay with that. Usually he's very snarky about helping out other people in need. But I guess he realized the practicality of helping somebody out. Because like he said, maybe somebody will help them out in return when they're in trouble. And earlier in the day, he was complaining about if there's any animals left. He's so hungry, I could eat either a rat or a pigeon. Very, very disturbing, but a reality in some cases. Like me personally, I can't say that I would eat something like that, but if I got hungry enough and I went long enough without food, who's to say? I might actually change my mind. As gross as it sounds, I might actually change my mind. So I'm going to use up the rest of my wood to make some fuel, and maybe we'll be able to make a couple things of stew. I don't know. Hopefully we can. We can make... Oh no, we can make 2. Thank God. Okay. And because there's 2 people here, I'm going to obviously feed both of them. And then I'm going to end the day, since there's nothing else for them to do. And you know what? I know you're resting, hun, but you gotta get up and get something to eat, so... You eat 1. And take a seat. Okay, him resting a little bit helped, good. Because he's only tired, he's not very tired. And if he gets some food in him, that'll help. He'll still be hungry, but not as hungry. Great. Alright, so I'm gonna have you get back in the bed and rest. I'm hoping something like the supermarket opens up so that we can get some food. And let's end the day. Alright, so we only have... Oh, we have 2 new locations. The ruined villa and the small apartment building. So I think we saw both of these in a previous episode. Maybe only the ruined villa, maybe not. But in any event, I don't want the episode to drag too long, so I'm going to call it an episode here, guys. And in the next episode, I'll decide which of the new locations, or if I'm going to go to an old location for supplies, and see what happens next for our travelers. Or not travelers, our survivors. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you next time. Take care.